Damn, Dak.
Damn, Dak. Damn.
You done messed up the bag once again.
A cautious story. A cautious story. We got to get into this. Let's talk about Dak Prescott. Man. And I'm not even saying this to be mean or anything like that. I'm not making fun of the guy. It's just, damn. Why? Why did this have to happen? We're not in NFL circles, so we don't know, how people perceive Dak. But it seemed like he was very well liked. And as they always say about the NFL, injuries are a part of the game. But damn, why it had to happen like that? Especially in the contract year. Talk about it.
I don't know. Dak, this one, I'm just shaking my head on this one. I get it. You bet it on yourself, but man, it backfired on you big time on this one. Whew.
It looked good when you actually bet on yourself and win, but when you bet on yourself and lose, he has absolutely no leverage with the Cowboys anymore.
It's finished.
Oh, well, except that Andy Dalton is hurt now.
Correct, but at the same time, even if Andy Dalton is injured, I still don't think he has leverage. I mean, Dak should never have stepped on that field. He should have held out. Yeah. He should never play this season. I get it. You want to prove yourself. Even he proved himself. I still don't think Jerry Jones was going to give him the money he wanted.
No, because, Dak understood some things very well. He understood, well, I don't know what's in his mind, but it seems like he had two good things about it. He knows that Dallas needs a QB. That's one. He feels like he has been a consummate professional. And we see that Dak just comes. You don't ever have no issues with Dak. He's not out here in the streets. You don't hear that he has a DUI or anything like that. And so he felt like this was his money. And they didn't give it to him, or at least told him to wait. And he said, I'm going to prove it. And that turned out to be a bad decision, man. Did you see the injury, by the way?
I saw it. It was disgusting. It was disgusting. I mean, I get it. You want to prove yourself. You want to bet on yourself. But this is the NFL. This is football. This is a dangerous game. You have 16 weeks to go injury-free. And he didn't make it. But let's get into why we got to this point for a little bit. So, looking over Dak's career, Dak was in the 2016 draft. Round 4, pick 135. Dak got a $2.7 million for 4 years rookie contract. Had a great rookie year. Played all 16 games. Threw for 3,667 yards. Rushed for 282 yards. 29 total touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
Wow.
Cowboys end up 13-3. Dak end up with a 67.8% completion percentage. But they end up losing to the Packers in the second round.
I remember that year, too. They're like, Troy Aikman is back in the form of Dak Prescott.
They were wrong.
He played well. He did play well, but just like any other year, the Cowboys lost in the postseason. What's new?
Well, then it goes on from there. 2017, his second year, played 16 games again. 3,324 yards, 22 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. 357 rush yards, 5 rush touchdowns. Dallas 97. They missed the playoffs. Third year, pretty consistent again. 3,885 yards, throwing 22 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. 305 rush yards, 6 touchdowns rushing. Dallas goes 10-6. They beat Seattle, which is Dak's first playoff win, but lose to the Rams in the second round. So far, Dak is 1-2 at that point in the playoffs. Fourth year, which was last year, big year.
Turned up.
Played all 16 games.
Sheesh.
4,902 passing yards.
That's incredible.
30 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 277 rush yards, 3 rush touchdowns. But Dallas goes 8-8 and missed the playoffs. Here's the kicker to this, though.
Jerry World.
In 2018, Dak was not a top 100 player in the league. He comes in year 4, does this. Now we're in year 5 now. He started off the season hot, played 5 games before the injury 1,856 passing yards, 9 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 93 rush yards, 3 rush touchdowns, and obviously the Dallas are pie right now at 2-5. And Dak got paid $31 million this year on franchise tag. So my question is, with all these numbers and the stats he has put up, let's not count this year, the first 4 years. The offer Dallas had gave him. By the way, Dak is 1-2 in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
He only has 794 passing yards in the playoffs, 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 2 rush touchdowns, and a 1-2 record in the playoffs.
Yep. Because he hasn't stayed long.
It's
Didn't even have a chance to take off his coat.
That's true, but it's still It kind of gives you great regular season numbers, makes the playoff here and there, but doesn't make too much of a splash in the playoffs. So Dallas says, Dak, you're consistent. At least you play 16 games. You do put up numbers. You don't put up Pat Mahomes. You don't put Aaron Rodgers numbers, but pretty solid numbers. Mm-hmm. At least for year 4. We give you 175, but we want a 5th year. And we want to be able to franchise tag you on the 5th year.
So before you go forward, for those that may not know, could you explain what a franchise tag is? Because I know when I first heard of it, I didn't know, and this was not even a few years ago. I still kind of iffy on it. So what is a franchise tag?
So how franchise tags work, it works in different scenarios. Sometimes teams franchise a player for contract negotiation reasons. Sometimes they do it because the player's holding out. Sometimes it's a money issue. So basically, a franchise tag is basically saying you have no rights to no other team but us. It's a 1-year deal, and we'll pay you the top 5% of whatever your position is getting paid.
Okay.
At the time.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no guarantee.
Right, as we see.
So 1, there's no guarantee money, and 2, also there's no guarantee as far as you'll get a contract next year. And also, there's no guarantee you'll be on the roster. That means you can get cut also.
Yeah. But they didn't use the franchise tag on Dak.
Yes, they did.
No, I'm saying they didn't do it for anything other than to keep him on the team.
Correct.
And not have him hold out.
But my question is,
could he have still held out even with the franchise tag, or would he have?
Yes, I mean you have to agree to it. You have to agree to the franchise tag, which he did, which I think was the mistake he did. Yeah. I mean, if you feel that you're the franchise quarterback, you hold out.
Yeah, he was hoping to be the good boy, and I mean, I don't know, bro. I really don't know, because he could have. There's a difference between the 2 major sports in the United States, between basketball and football. In the NBA, if you are unhappy, I'm always going to go back to this example because Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat, that's my team, of course. But Jimmy Butler was unhappy in Minnesota. What do you do in the NBA? You show up and you make noise, and then you get your contract.
Absolutely.
In the NFL, since injury is a part of the game, they're short on guys all the time. What you do, you hold out so that they hurt him. Because if he knows, especially didn't he agree to this franchise tag after Andy Dalton got signed?
He did.
Bruh, you should know. And the red, what do they call him? The red rifle? What do they call that man?
Whatever they call him. But
trash is what I call him.
The worst thing about it was, as soon as they done that, you should have known that was their insurance on you.
Exactly. And so let him be with Andy Dalton. That's fine. I'm going to sit at home. I got millions already. He got a football field at his house. Just throw around to your dog.
He got endorsements.
Come on,
you
man.
You live in Dallas, you get the endorsements. You play for America's team, you get the endorsements. My thing, there's 2 sides to it. To me, I think the contract was fair. 175. Well, really, they were offering 140 for 4 years initially. Dak said no. He said, I want 45 plus if you want to do 5 years. So Dallas has said, okay, we'll do 5 years, but we gotta do 5 years, 175, but we have to be able to franchise tag you in that last year. And Dak said no. Dak wanted 4 years. He didn't want 5 years. He wanted 4 years. But since they said we don't want to do a 4-year term, we have to do 5. Dak said, okay, if we do 5, I want 185 plus. Mm-hmm. So that means north of 185. And then that 5th year, I want 45 plus. That's more than Pat Mahomes.
Yeah. And I feel like if I'm, because you got to, this is a business, right? So
absolutely.
If I'm Jerry Jones, if I'm the brass at Dallas, that last part would have been, and I think that's what happened.
It gets even worse. Not only does he want 45 plus in the 5th year, he said, I want 100 mil guaranteed and no franchise tag in the last year.
No, sir, Rick Ross, not me, right? That's not going to happen,
That's
man.
not happening.
Because when you have comparison, there lies the leverage of these NFL owners. They can compare and say, yo, you're not Pat Mahomes. I'm not giving you anywhere near that, even in good faith, especially for the Dallas Cowboys, man. They know they're America's team. They know they can go out and get guys, but it was less about that. This just seems like a pissing contest, to be honest. It was like Jerry Jones saying, no, boy, you're not getting that. And Dak saying, I'm going to bet on myself. And ultimately, for right now, it looks like he lost the battle.
I mean, you can't finesse Jerry Jones.
Nah, he is the finesser.
He's the finesser of the league.
Jerry world.
It's his world, and you're playing in it.
Exactly.
So
now play football, boy.
I mean, I think Dak kind of got into a weird, tough situation because you look at your peers, you look at Jared Goff, you look at Carson Wentz. They got their money, all right. But then you look on the other side of these young guys coming up: Deshaun, Pat, Lamar Jackson. They're out here excelling, but they also got the bag too. I mean, Deshaun got 160. Pat, we all know, got the half a billy. But even Pat guaranteed was only 140.
Wow.
So of that 500. So for Dak to say I want 100 mil guaranteed, it's really hard, and I get it, and I get everybody now. Everybody's on the self-worth and I'm worth this and get paid what you're worth and get your money now. But guys, you gotta understand, you get paid for what you produce.
Exactly. No matter what industry you're in.
Period.
That's how it is.
Dak Prescott, I'm sorry to say, you are not a top 5 quarterback in the league.
No.
So for you to be asking for 45 plus in the 5th year of that contract, and you have not even sniffed the NFC Championship game.
Is he top 10 though?
In my opinion, no.
Let's see. You said not top 5.
He was top 10 last year.
Are you considering? Let's see. Brady,
as far as
Mahomes.
It's easy. Let's go like this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Pat Mahomes. Mm-hmm. Deshaun.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Russell Wilson.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers.
Oh wow. Yeah, and we're not even talking about Brady yet.
Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go on the NFC side. There's some guys. Drew Brees.
Of course. He might be top 10.
He might, but
But there's still a tier
there's
of
still
payment.
a tier. Yeah, there's still a tier.
Like, we see Mahomes, what Mahomes got, that 10-year deal. Did Lamar get paid yet?
Not yet.
So
Lamar's next year.
Another leverage play for the Cowboys.
And
bro, Lamar is balling. I mean, he's putting up Pat Mahomes like numbers, and so he's gonna get paid as well. Dak, you can't, and I can't say the Ravens, because the Ravens have leverage now too.
Absolutely,
because they're gonna say Pat got a championship.
True.
He brought it to the city. So we're not going to pay Lamar the same. So even then, the Cowboys had all the leverage in this deal, except for you actually being in the building, and he gave them exactly what they wanted.
The thing about it, I think where Dak messed up is you let Pat Mahomes sign his deal before you signed yours. Mm-hmm. Nobody in the league can compare themselves to Pat. Pat is in his own league.
Yeah.
Mahomes, my homeboy, he is his own league.
Yeah.
There's no comparison. You can't compare stats. You can't compare dollars. He gets his own credentials. Mm-hmm. Now, once you come out of that atmosphere, then you become in the regular league standard. But Pat Mahomes, he's on his own. Yep. All right. Well, the money he got it because he's doing things we have not seen. I mean, the guy's the first youngest quarterback to 100 touchdowns. You know, if it was not for DJ Ford, he would have two Super Bowls and 2 Super Bowl MVPs right now. And he's younger than me.
Yeah.
And he's on his way from right now, the way the Chiefs are playing. It looked like they're about to be right back in the Super Bowl.
So that was the first mistake that Mr. Prescott
That's
had.
the first mistake. You let Pat Mahomes not even reset the market. Reset the whole league.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So you thinking in your head that, oh, Pat Mahomes got this money, I can compare myself. No, you cannot. Mm-hmm. This is somebody who's one-in-a-generation player. He got a one-in-a-generation contract. I mean, the last time we seen a contract like this was Vic in 07.
Mm-hmm. So here goes.
That's 13 years ago.
So here go Dak, thinking that he compares with him, but he also thought that this was simple economics as far as, you know, scarcity. Him thinking that, hey, I've been here, you know, 4 years going on 5 now. So, and I've done everything the right way. I've stayed out of the media, you know, let all the media go to Jerry Jones. But Dak felt like he did all those things right, and it's still about production on the field.
That's what it comes down to. And
poor guy.
The only way I seen Dak getting the contract he wanted was he would have to win the Super Bowl this year, which obviously he's not because he's not been playing. That's the only way he might have got $100 million guaranteed from Jerry Jones. But even if you go to the Super Bowl and lost, I still don't even think he gets it. So Dak, what you were fighting for was almost not going to happen.
Yeah.
To me, Dak should have took the 4 years, 140. He would still been the highest paid quarterback before Pat Mahomes signed that contract. Dak would have got $35 million a year. He would have been paid more than Russell Wilson.
Or sit out. One or the other. What? But I feel like going onto the field was him playing the fence because I don't know. I just felt like if you really felt that highly of yourself to where you're asking for Pat Mahomes, near Pat Mahomes money, sit out then. See them do bad without you. They're not going to move on with Andy Dalton. Come on now.
Yeah, but at the same time, they can tank for a year, and there's a bad boy in Trevor Lawrence coming up.
Yeah.
There's a bad boy in Justin Fields coming up.
True.
So it say, hey, Dak, you don't want to play ball with us? Fine, walk. So check this.
Yikes.
If he says, you know what, I'll sit out, and Dallas says, I'll cut you. Yeah, you can go get the bag somewhere else, but I'll tell you this. Dak, you're not going to get that 45 plus somewhere else.
Nah,
2,
Dallas was actually going to overpay him, to be honest.
Exactly. Dak was going to be the highest paid quarterback in the league before Pat Mahomes and Deshaun signed their contract. So, Dak, where were you going to go get the bag at? How many other teams was going to pay that money outside of Dallas? Miami? No. They just signed Tua, so they probably wouldn't have signed you. The Jets? Probably not. They'll probably wait out another year and get a cheaper stud and Trevor Lawrence.
Right.
Jacksonville, maybe, but you're not going to win a lot of games.
They like Gardner Minshew, so nope. They really like that guy.
Washington, I don't know.
I mean, got some interesting things going on right
there's not too many teams in the league you could have went to, and that would pay the money that you wanted, and you definitely would have had one. I mean, I get it, Dak. You look around your locker room. Zeke got paid. Amari got paid. The defensive players got paid. And you're like, man, I'm the quarterback. I'm supposed to be the franchise. And you didn't give me the bag. But Dak, you wanted the bag and some.
Yeah. I mean, they would have if the production met.
But I don't even think it's production. I think it came down to this. Jerry Jones says, look, we are in the NFC. We got Seattle. We got Green Bay. We got the Saints. Shoot, even look at the Cardinals coming up now. We got the Rams. There's a lot of teams in the NFC you had to contend with. Mm-hmm. I don't even think if Dak threw for 5,000 yards, it would have been enough. Dak, you would have to win to the Super Bowl. That's the only requirement.
Yeah, of course. And that's what I mean by production on the field. Winning is my production. Not throwing a bunch of yards. Who cares? Did you win the game? Because we've had, hello, Miami Dolphins fans. We've had a quarterback that threw for a hell of a lot of touchdowns and yards and all of that, did not win the big one. Dan Marino. So he was even if he were to do all those stats, have all those stats, you have to win. That's what makes people. And then what happens is, if you were to win, now it forces them to pay you first instead of rounding out the team. Because that's all they were doing. They were stewarding their business, right? The billionaire owner says, you got to make sure the product on the field is balanced. And that's something that Dallas never really had. Their defense was always good.
No, defense was suspect. The offense was always good. The offensive line was great.
True, the run and running backs, of course.
Running backs was good. Defense was always suspect because that secondary is pie.
Yeah,
you can throw 5,000 yards on that secondary for all you want.
So now they're finally doing what they're supposed to do, paying the defense, paying the guys that's going to make you win, and then you still can't win. So they're still choking. So, I mean, hey, you can look on both sides and say, I kind of understand, but that kind of pushed it just a little bit, man.
Yeah, he definitely tested the waters. He tried it.
Yeah.
He tried it. You fell on your face, but you tried it. But I get it. I mean, yes, Jerry Jones paid Tony Romo back in the day, but what did Tony Romo do for Dallas? Mm-hmm. Not much. I mean, Dak, your best year with Dallas, y'all went 8-8 and missed the playoffs, and you threw for 4,000 yards.
One last thing on this. I've heard people talk about, you get on Twitter and people say whatever they want to say, but people trying to make this a race issue. Nah, we're not gonna go there.
It's a business issue.
Nah, this is business. You can tell. It's not even because they like Dak. People like Dak. It's just straight up business. This was not. So let's not even go there.
So at this point, I think Dak's future with the Cowboys is very, very.
It's on thin ice. I mean, he lost all his leverage, and now he's gonna have to take whatever they give him.
And Dak, I mean, I hope he does come back healthy. You don't wish injuries on anybody, but Dak, I hope that ankle comes back 100% healthy because if it does not, I don't know if Dallas is going to keep Dak on that roster for a long term. I don't think he's their future.
Speaking of injuries, oh my goodness, OBJ.
Once again.
OMG, OBJ. I feel so sorry for this guy, man, because he just wants, you can tell, he's a fun-loving guy. He just wants to be great. And because you have that match, or that mix, I should say, of fun-loving, but also OBJ is really dedicated to being the best.
He wants to be the best.
He wants to be the best. But when you have that mix of fun-loving and still maniacal about winning, it makes you look like a diva. And I've never looked at OBJ as a diva for no reason. I've looked at him as, I want to win so bad. Remember, he's coming from LSU. This guy is ultra competitive.
Absolutely.
So he wants to be paid well. First of all, wants to do well on the field, wants to blow everybody out, and he wants to be paid well for that. And he likes himself and all that good stuff that may seem, make him look narcissistic. But that's off the football field. On the football field, you know what you're going to get from OBJ. It just truly sucks that he gets hurt. When it seemed like the Browns were kind of picking up the pieces a little bit.
I don't know necessarily about that. I mean, OBJ still, his numbers was, 4 catches a game average.
Well, I mean, you can't throw the ball to yourself.
That's true. And then, I mean, he is getting double covered here and there. And obviously he has a great stud on the other side in Jarvis. But I'm starting to think this OBJ with the Browns thing is just not working.
Nah, it's not.
It's not working. I mean, it sucks that he got injured again in their hands. So now his trade value is very, very low. Especially he still has that year left on that
huge contract.
Big money on that Giants contract he got signed. I don't know who picks him up when he gets healthy. One, it's going to take him a full year to get back. It's an ACL tear. He's a wide receiver. OBJ is 29.
Yikes.
And we all know in the NFL, once you turn 30 and you're not a quarterback, your career change. Is OBJ still going to be explosive? Is he still going to be able to burn people off the line or burn people in strides? Is he going to be able to jump like he used to? I don't know. This is his second major injury. He has a lot of money on the books, and I don't know. I mean, if he was to get traded, I would like to see OBJ in New England with Cam. That would be a nice fit.
Nice. I didn't
but
think about that.
New England is known to not pay the money.
Yeah,
They don't pay their guys.
Doesn't care about stars. They don't.
Absolutely
They
not.
finally showed you, and they're getting exposed now. But they finally showed you that they don't care about the number one star that gave them so much over the years, and they couldn't. Although I don't think they could have stopped Tampa. Really, they couldn't stop. I don't think Brady wanted to stay there any longer. But they're not. They don't pay stars. You remember? Was it Randy Moss that wanted a bigger contract? That one year they had the perfect season, and they told him, "Your ass can walk." And so they put the team over any one individual except for Tom. And then once Tom is gone, look at all the L's starting to pile up.
But Tom took many pay cuts.
That's true.
Tom did easily.
Who is it that did that all the time? San Antonio.
Tim Duncan.
Yeah, Tim Duncan did that all the time.
But that's the sacrifice you do to win championships.
That's true.
And Dak should have saw that blueprint. Dak, take that money. You got all these studs around you. C.D. Lamb, Amari Cooper, Zeke Elliott. You didn't take the money. You had young studs around you. You could have been contending for a Super Bowl for the next 3, 4, 5 years. But at this point, who knows? OBJ.
Silver lining is he got paid already. So
he got his money. He got the Nike contract. So
I actually follow his father on Instagram. He's always driving his Rolls Royce around.
With
so I'm like
the gold, orange one. The gold, yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, the orange one. It's dope.
So hey, it happens again. Injuries are a part of the game.
It is part of the game. It's
no one's 100% in the NFL, so it is what it is. And the fact that no one's 100% actually segues into the next thing, because your boy Tom Brady, he said, "I need some help." And
you don't need no help.
Well, Tom Brady,
he said, "I just want some more weapons to smother in your face."
He gets what he wants, period. And it might as well be calling him Tom Brady the GM or Le GM as they call LeBron, because that's the kind of pull that he has. He told imagine the phone call between Tom and Gronkowski. I don't think it's more than 5 seconds. Ring, ring, ring. Yo, this is Tom. Yo, what's up? What's going on? Yeah, I'm retired. I'm chilling, drinking all the beers and Coors Light. Yo, get your ass up and come get some money with us. Click. He's going on the next flight. It's Tom Brady. So you can't say no to him. And look what the cat dragged in.
AB to the Bucks.
AB, fresh off a rap career that never was.
I can't believe it.
So, AB.
The Bucks now, they look loaded.
Mm-hmm.
You got Tom, you got Chris Godwin, you got Mike Evans, you got AB.
Up and down the roster, man.
Man, is Tom Brady going to throw for 5,000 yards this year?
Well, I mean, when I watched him, he doesn't look like he has that arm strength anymore. But we have seen this before.
Slow start.
Peyton Manning, anyone? When we're talking about old quarterbacks doing their thing, he'll be fine. Especially when you have weapons and like that, big name weapons and small time. Remember, there's a kid, John Hurst, I think, from West Georgia. I had a chance to see him in person training here in Georgia, and he's amazing. He's technically sound. He's basically a young version of Julian Edelman, and no one knows about him because of all the big names.
And then that's the guy that's going to be wide open in the middle of the field on those slants, which Tom Brady loves.
Dink and dunk, because he doesn't have that arm strength anymore.
But the Bucks look scary. Even the Ravens said, all right, well, if you're going to upgrade, the Chiefs upgrade, got Le'Veon. The Ravens said, all right, I don't think it's much of an upgrade, but we, let's make a little noise. We ain't got Dez Bryant. So now you got Hollywood, you got Dez, you got Lamar, you got Ingram.
How long was Dez out of the game for?
He was signed to the Saints, but he got injured.
Oh, right. I do remember that. Yeah.
He was signed to the Saints.
Yep.
But obviously, Dez is not what Dez used to be.
Of course not.
I mean, I think it's a big target that the Ravens wanted, especially for the red zone. Give, Lamar something to throw up to when there's 20 yards or less. But Dez, I hope this is something to turn your career around. Maybe get some wins under your belt, make some playoff push. And I honestly hope he produces.
I actually was hoping that the Ravens did a little bit more this year, because you don't want them to, and I guess I'm biased, whatever, but I'm rooting for black quarterbacks. So Lamar Jackson, I love the guy, man. Of course, he's from the crib. He's from down south in South Florida. So we actually been seeing him for a long time before he even got up to where he is now. So I want to see the Ravens do well, but I have a sneaking suspicion that they are a team that does well in the regular season
and flops
and
in the playoffs.
Runs into some kind of buzzsaw that they didn't prepare for, and then flop that, because that's what happened last year with Tennessee Titans, and then the Tennessee Titans went and lost. So I really hope that's not this team, because they're a fun team. I want to see them do well. I also want to see more of Des Bryant throwing up that X.
Well, I think it's on the hands of Lamar. If Lamar takes his game a step further, obviously on the throwing side, he definitely has to protect himself when he runs, make sure he stays healthy.
Protect the ball, Lamar. Damn.
Can't turn it over. Definitely can't turn it over. But I don't think it's going to be that easy as it was last year. The Steelers are looking healthy.
Crazy.
Titans, with Derrick Henry in that train, good God. Don't get in that man way. Titans looking real nice.
Don't forget about Tannehill now. Tannehill's doing his thing.
He's
no longer game manager. That shows that Miami was inept, but that's another story.
And then of course you got to go through the beast and KC. And KC just added another weapon in Le'Veon Bell.
Oh my God.
So the AFC is looking pretty stacked themselves. And from across the board, I think you still have to go to KC if you want to see the Super Bowl, but
it's
Ravens,
spicy.
We'll see what you can do. Dez, we'll see what you can do. Lamar, this is your year to really prove. You was the MVP last year. I think we're going to see maybe a Ravens Chiefs AFC Championship game. Hopefully,
that would be cool. I would love it. I would definitely love that. Two black quarterbacks again, but also two very different upbringings. So that just makes it easy to have a game like that. Especially imagine the AFC Championship. You got all these storylines. You can juxtapose, my favorite SAT word. You can juxtapose the way they came up and still came to an area where they are top in their class, so to speak, in the NFL. It is a juicy storyline for years to come.
Absolutely.
This is kind of like Larry Bird, Magic Johnson type of stuff.
Or even Tom and Peyton.
True.
I think Lamar... Well, unfortunately, it was supposed to be three of them. But I don't know what the Texans were thinking by trading D-Hop. The future was supposed to be Deshaun, Lamar, and Pat. But Deshaun obviously is going to be out the race this year. The Texans are terrible.
Yeah, trash, man.
Deshaun is out there running for his life, creating plays. He's doing everything, try to keep them alive. But right now, I think the race for the next, at least for sure, the next 2-3 years is Lamar, Pat, Lamar, Pat, Lamar, Pat. And them boys going to be going at it.
I'm here for
the years to come. And it's going to be real interesting. I would love to see the year that Lamar takes Pat Mahomes down. I will, if that's this year, that'd be great. But I think that year is kind of going to be the year that when Peyton took Tom Brady down and went to the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. But Lamar is definitely very, 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 very fun to watch. And Pat Mahomes also, left hand, right hand, side arm, deep throw.
Whew, Magic Johnson on the field.
That boy's a bad man.
He's a wizard.
It's going to be real interesting. But before we go, L.A., Town of Champions, once again. Mm-hmm. Dodgers, congratulations, won the World Series. That is 7 now.
Damn, my L.A. friends, rent going up.
Rent is definitely going up. I know it sucks they can't have a parade. It's crazy. Dodgers got 7. Lakers got 17. 7 plus 17, 24.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, ironic,
I'm so
right?
tired of this shit.
Yeah, but... definitely give props where it's due. LA is a town of champions right now. Once again, they got it in baseball, they got it in basketball. But that boy Mookie, man,
Mookie got paid.
365, 12 years. I'm telling you right now, if I have a son, he is playing baseball.
Stick ball all the way.
He is playing that bat and that ball. He's playing baseball because, man, these contracts is looking healthy.
12 years. $365
5
million.
mil.
Man, I could do something with that.
That's a nice chunk of change.
30 plus a year.
That's high end NBA money.
Now I see why after your boy got paid, after my homeboy got paid, he went and bought into baseball because there's just a lot of money.
Too much money in there. Absolutely.
So much money. And it's not going anywhere because, hey, the old folks love that. They love that game.
Absolutely. That game is here. I know football is becoming bigger and being America's team. I mean, America's game, but football has been here for the ages. Got so much money behind it.
You mean baseball?
Yeah, baseball. I'm sorry, baseball. But I do like to see the black guys winning in that sport, though.
That's a fact.
Winning chips and getting that contract, getting the bag. I definitely love to see it. But shout out to LA. Shout out to the Lakers. Shout out to the Dodgers. The land of champions.
Just a random shout out. Although, since you're talking about black guys in baseball, shout out to Tim Anderson, too.
That's
Tim
true.
Anderson. And guess who he is signed by? This is going to be another episode. We can have a whole episode or two, a 2-part documentary
Part 2 on the way.
Where is he signed to? Clutch Sports. They have an eclectic group, but sorry, threw you off.
That's the topic for another day. We're gonna get into that. Shout out to Rich Paul, what y'all guys are doing over there, man. Black excellence for sure. But
that's a fact.
That's it. That's all we got for you guys today. Definitely let us know what you think. Comment. Let us know what you think about this episode. See you next week.
Damn, Dak.
Damn, blew it again.